Most folks choose a survival gun with their emotions. They walk into a shop, they grab the biggest, loudest thing on the rack, they bolt on $1,000 in accessories. Then they go to sleep feeling prepared. 6 months into a real collapse, they are out of ammo, out of parts, and out of options because they pick firepower over function. So let's talk about what actually keeps you alive when the grid drops and the stores stay dark. Not stopping power, not magazine capacity, not whatever gun channels are hyping this week. 3 things: ammo availability, mechanical simplicity, real-world versatility. If a firearm can't clear all 3 filters, it does not belong on this list. I do not care how pretty the spec sheet looks. These 8 guns made the cut for one reason: they solve real survival problems. Feeding yourself, protecting your family, staying mobile, staying quiet, and staying in the fight. When replacement parts do not exist anymore, we ditch the novelty picks, we skip the safe answers, and we rank these by how much they matter. When society stops working, let's get into it. Number 8, TPS Arms M6 Takedown. Most lists start with something normal. This one doesn't, because normal thinking can get you killed when the rules change. The TPS Arms M6 street price is around $520. It's a modern comeback of the old M6 aircrew survival concept. And here's the important detail. The original US Air Force M6 was 22 Hornet over 410. This TPS version updates that idea with 22 long rifle over 410, built for real survival utility, not for marketing brochures, not a range toy cooked up by a boardroom. A survival tool built for people who already crashed and were trying to stay alive in hostile territory. The idea is almost perfect in its simplicity. 2 barrels, stacked over under, 22 long rifle up top for quiet small game work. 410 bore on the bottom with a 3-inch chamber for birds, snakes, or a desperate slug if something bigger shows up. TPS also widened the choices. 22 WMR over 410, 17 HMR over 410, and 357 Magnum over 410. For folks who want medium game capability, no apologies. The stock carries ammo inside the gun, 13 rimfire rounds, and 6 shotgun shells. Built into the structure. No pouches, no digging around in the dark. Your ammo is already where your hands are. The whole setup weighs around 5 pounds, and it breaks down with one push. Using an AR-15 style captive takedown pin, 2 halves, that vanish into basically any backpack, without broadcasting your intentions to everyone around you. That squeeze bar trigger is not ugly by accident. The original idea was simple. A downed pilot might be wearing thick gloves, or dealing with frozen, numb fingers. That's survival engineering, not range toy logic. And there is almost nothing here to fail. No gas system, no complicated bolt, just mechanical simplicity, the kind that laughs at neglect. So why is it number 8? Because it's a niche tool. You get 2 shots, 1 from each barrel, then you are reloading. No semi-auto follow-up, no magazine capacity to lean on. If you are facing multiple threats, the M6 becomes a problem fast. But as a dedicated food getter, and an emergency survival gun, that weighs almost nothing and goes anywhere. Nothing else on this list really matches it. Know what it is, know what it isn't, then decide. Number 7, Ruger 1022. Takedown, yeah, a 22. Before you skip ahead, hear me out. If the M6 is the specialist, the Ruger 1022 Takedown is the workhorse, and it never clocks out. It runs around $550 since 1964. This has been one of the most successful rimfire rifle designs ever. The takedown version takes that proven platform and makes it packable. One quick twist, and the barrel comes off. That semi-auto blowback action cycles fast. Quick follow-ups on squirrels, rabbits, birds, and Ruger's 10-round rotary magazine. A legendary rimfire designed for reliability. Sits flush in the stock, so it carries snag-free. Here's the math that should rewire how you think about survival. You can carry 500 rounds of 22 long rifle in a cargo pocket. 500 rounds. That's a whole lot of meals and a whole lot of chances to keep people fed. Now try carrying 500 rounds of 380 ACP. Your back just tapped out, and you have not even started walking. And 22 long rifle is produced in massive volume. That matters, because volume is what comes back first and stays available longer. In most shortages, set the 10-22 up for quiet work, and you can be a ghost in the woods, putting dinner in the pot at 50 yards without broadcasting your position to every hungry neighbor within a mile. The platform is easy to keep alive. Parts are everywhere. It's modular enough for basic field repairs. No special tools, no gunsmithing background required. The backpacker model, with mag pull furniture and built-in stock magazine storage, runs about $600, and it makes a great package even more field-ready. The downside is obvious. A .22 is not a man-stopper. Nobody serious pretends this rifle dominates a gunfight against determined threats at distance. But survival is not a movie. 95% of a real collapse is you trying not to starve. Writing this rifle off because it lacks stopping power. That's how people end up hungry. Number 6, Smith & Wesson M and PFPC. The foragers covered your food. Now let's talk about the moment you need a rifle. But you cannot look like you have one. The Smith & Wesson M and PFPC runs around $700, and it was built for urban survival, the situation most people will actually live through. But nobody wants to train for. This folding 9mm pistol caliber carbine drops down to about 16 3/8 inches when folded, and it slides into a laptop bag or a normal backpack like it is not even there. Open it fast, and now you have a stable, shoulder-fired platform that will run circles around a handgun at 50 yards. It's chambered in 9mm Luger, the most common centerfire pistol round on the planet. It ships with one 17-round magazine and two 23-round magazines. The operating system is simple, built for reliability. The barrel is threaded from the factory, so it's ready for muzzle devices. The M-Lock handguard lets you mount lights and optics without turning it into a science project. Recoil is soft, so newer shooters can stay on target and get fast follow-ups. The FPC fills a gap nothing else on this list touches. Concealed long gun capability in a city, because in a collapsed urban area, a visible rifle makes you a target for threats and for desperate people who want what you have. The FPC lets you look like everyone else carrying a bag until the moment you need to not be. That extra barrel length buys you velocity and accuracy over a sidearm. It bridges the space between pistol and rifle without the bulk of a full-size carbine. The limitation is range and power. You are still working with pistol ballistics. From a longer barrel, better than a handgun, but not even close to rifle performance past 100 yards. And you are tied into the M&P magazine ecosystem instead of the more universal Glock world. But when 9mm everywhere and discretion equals survival, the FPC is a clean answer for urban mobility. A gun that feels built in 2026, not 1999. Number 5, Henry Big Boy X model. Picture this. It's dusk, the world is sideways, and you need dinner without every coyote and every two-legged scavenger knowing exactly where you are. That is the Henry Big Boy X model's whole job. It often sits around $970. A lever-action rifle, old-school reliability, with modern survival features that actually matter. Chambered in .357 Magnum. It also runs 38 Special like candy, 2 calibers, 1 rifle, and that dual capability is the key to why it's here. With 38 special subsonic loads and a threaded barrel that supports modern setups. This lever gun can be run extremely quiet, especially compared to most centerfire options. The synthetic stock with M-Lock slots handles weather. That would wreck walnut, and the side loading gate lets you top off the tube magazine while you stay in the fight without breaking position. The lever action is the advantage people forget. No gas ports to clog, no complicated system that needs perfect conditions, just mechanical reliability, the kind that keeps moving after weeks of dirt and zero maintenance. And it shares ammo with a .357 revolver. If you carry one as a sidearm, that keeps your logistics simple when resupply is not coming. It feels right in the hands, short enough for tight spaces, long enough to give real rifle accuracy. Out past 100 yards, the weakness is obvious. Rate of fire. In a moving fight against multiple threats, a lever gun can bottleneck you, but most survival moments reward the shooter, who fires once and makes it count. Not the one dumping a magazine and praying. The Henry Big Boy X forces that mindset. And in a world where every shot is an announcement, that discipline can keep you alive longer than any tactical rifle with a finicky system. Number 4, Remington 700 or Ruger American. Everything so far has handled close range, quiet, and mobility. Now we need reach, bolt-action rifles, represented well by the Remington 700, around $800 to $1,200, or the budget-friendly Ruger American, about $450 to $550. Solve one big problem no other category touches: controlling space. These rifles in .308 Winchester, closely related to 7.62 by 51 NATO, deliver enough energy to drop a deer at 300+ yards or stop a threat before it ever gets into effective range. A bolt gun has very few moving parts, no gas tube to foul, no batteries, no delicate add-ons you can't replace. Run the bolt, chamber the next round, and it just works. Even after sitting untouched for months, in a collapse, a bolt gun turns you into the person who controls the high ground. Around your retreat, one clean shot on a big animal can feed the group for days, without burning through ammo you can't replace. Every trigger press matters, because resupply is not on the way. And the bolt action forces that discipline. It bakes patience into the system. It builds shot placement, the kind of skill that keeps you alive longer than raw volume of fire. The Ruger American deserves a call out because it can be extremely accurate for the money, and it leaves real cash for ammo and training. The Remington 700 earns the higher cost. With a legendary action, that has been the foundation for military sniper platforms for decades. Either way, the downside is the same: slow rate of fire, limited capacity, bad choice for close quarters defense, or mobile engagements. This is a fixed position, open country tool, and in that lane, nothing on this list beats it. It is not flashy on Instagram, but it keeps you fed and keeps you safe when distance is your best friend. Number 3, Mossberg 500 or Remington 870. Only one shotgun made this list. Nothing else was even close. Here's why 12 gauge becomes irreplaceable. When the supply chain dies, versatility, birdshot for small game, buckshot for brutal close-range effectiveness from a shoulder-fired platform, slugs for deer-sized game at 75 yards, or for punching through barriers that stop pistol rounds cold. One platform, one slot in your kit, and a dozen different jobs, based on what you load into the tube. The Mossberg 500 runs about $450. The Remington 870 sits around $400 to $500. Pump guns earned their reputation over decades of hard use, across ugly conditions. The power source is your arm, no gas system to choke, no semi-auto timing to depend on. Wipe it down with whatever oil you can scrounge, and it keeps running. The Mossberg 500's dual action bars help prevent binding under stress, and it feels tank tough. The Remington 870's famously smooth pump stroke made it a benchmark pump gun for generations. Both can cycle dirty, wet, or after sitting in a closet for a long time, without whining. The trade-offs are real. Ammo is bulky and heavy. Recoil is not polite. Buckshot range falls off hard past 50 yards, and capacity is limited, compared to any rifle here. But inside that envelope, inside a home, inside a defensive perimeter, inside a fixed retreat, nothing beats the raw power and flexibility of a 12-gauge pump. When the world gets loud and close, this is the gun that talks loudest and clearest. Number 2, Glock 19, the most boring firearm on this whole list, which is exactly why it sits in the top 2. The Glock 19 runs around $550, and it has been a measuring stick for fighting handguns since the late 1980s. Special operations units, police agencies, armed citizens across the world. Everybody uses this platform because it just works. No drama, no surprises, no cute stories. Striker fired, polymer frame, 9mm Luger, around 34 parts, simple by design. You can detail strip it with a single punch tool. The Safe Action system gives you 3 passive internal safeties. No manual thumb safety to fumble, because under stress. Fine motor skills are the first thing to disappear. Here is the real collapse argument. The Glock 19 is one of the most common handgun platforms in the United States. In a breakdown, every abandoned police cruiser on the highway, every station that goes dark, every gun store that gets cleaned out, 9mm ammo and compatible magazines will be among the most findable resources. That is not hype, that is math, based on what already exists. Standard capacity is 15 rounds, and the magazine ecosystem is deep, so logistics stay simple. Is it the most accurate pistol? No. Is it the prettiest? No. Is it the most fun range toy? No. It is the handgun version of a Toyota Camry. Starts every morning. Does not ask questions. Gen 5 tightened things up with the marksman barrel. So accuracy problems are usually training problems now, not hardware problems. Standard models run about $530 to $600. Optic-ready versions sit around $650 to $700. A sidearm is the gun you actually have on you. When trouble shows up with no warning, it is what you fight with to get back to your rifle. Inside 25 yards, it puts rounds where they need to go. Parts are everywhere. Magazines are everywhere. Holsters are everywhere. In that role, the constant companion, the always ready fallback, the Glock 19 earned this spot by being relentlessly, boringly, reliably adequate when everything is already going wrong. Adequate can be worth more than exceptional. Number 1, the AR-15. This was never really a contest, not for an American collapse. Eugene Stoner's design started in the 1950s, and it took decades to mature. Vietnam was ugly, early issues were real, but the modern AR-15, from duty-grade builders like Bravo Company Manufacturing and Daniel Defense, is a refined fighting rifle platform. More importantly, it is America's rifle, in the most literal, numbers-based way possible. Modern sporting rifles, mostly AR style, are measured in the tens of millions in the United States. That matters, because in a long-term collapse, that installed base becomes a survival advantage. 5.56 by 45 NATO, or 223 Remington, typically 6 to 7 pounds. 2 takedown pins let the upper and lower separate, and that modularity means you can change configurations fast. That Lego-like repairability with scrounge parts does not exist anywhere else at this price point. When parts stores are just a memory, you can trade bolts, barrels, and bolt carrier groups from other AR rifles and keep yours alive, long after other platforms turn into expensive clubs. 5.56 is light enough that you can carry 200 rounds on your kit and still move at a real pace. Recoil is soft enough that everyone in your group, no matter their size or experience, can shoot accurately under stress. Controls are intuitive. The accessory ecosystem is the biggest in the firearms world. Lights, optics, suppressors, slings, whatever the situation demands. Somebody makes it, and it drops right in. Direct impingement, or piston-driven if you go that route. Either way, it stays easy to maintain with basic lubrication. And the sheer volume of spare parts out there makes it uniquely repairable. When everything else breaks, does an AK handle neglect better? Probably. Does a 308 bolt gun hit harder at distance? Absolutely. But can you reliably find replacement parts, spare magazines, and ammo for those platforms in every gun store, police armory, and National Guard depot? From coast to coast, not the same way. The AR-15 owns that advantage. And in a long-term survival scenario, that one advantage outweighs everything else on the spec sheet. Quality builds land around $600 to $1,000. Premium duty-grade rifles from BCM and Daniel Defense push $1,500 to $2,000 with cold hammer-forged barrels and bolt carrier groups that are high-pressure tested and magnetic particle inspected, down to microscopic flaws. That is real money, but this is the platform that can keep itself running long after the supply chain is dead and gone. When the world goes dark, the AR-15 is not just a rifle. It is a complete system that lets you adapt, repair, and handle whatever comes your way. 8 guns, each one solving a different survival problem. Most people can't grab the whole list at once, and honestly, you do not need to. If you can only choose 3 today and walk out the door. Here's the short answer. AR-15 for defense, Ruger 1022 for food, Glock 19, because a handgun is the gun you actually have on your body when it matters most. But here's the truth. That beats all 8 picks combined. Your most important survival tool weighs about 3 pounds, and it sits between your ears. Training beats gear. Every single time, a $400 rifle in practiced hands beats a $2,000 rifle in untrained hands. And it is not close. So buy the gun, then go train with it, then train again. Drop your top 3 in the comments. What is actually going in your bug-out bag? No judgment. I just want to know what this community is really running. If this breakdown gave you something useful, hit like and subscribe to the Armory. We go deep on the gear, the calibers, and the real-world decisions that matter, not the fantasy.